Hello, Americans. Other friends, subscribers around the world. Hey, man. All right. So I did it, man. So this here, my old Husky, man, it is my all-time favorite saw ever. Ever. 18-inch bar. It's the Husqvarna 445 extra torque. And now, 460 Rancher extra torque that I've wanted for a long time. Not that nothing's wrong with this, other than this one's got a 24-inch bar, this one's got 18-inch, which is nice for de-limbing, you know, especially as you're getting older and stuff. Other than this is a lot more to hold and handle than this is. Actually, this one, Gregor sent me, wow, and I don't even, 5-6 years ago maybe. Man, I've had nothing. It needs clean. You know, I usually clean it down with a wire brush or whatever, but man, 3 pulls, it starts every time. Man, my all-time favorite saw, like I said, all time. And, you know, I've been kicking around getting a bigger one. You know, I got some big cottonwoods and stuff like that, you know, bigger trees. So I've been kicking around getting one. But the price, you know, man, it's like, holy smokes. So I got talking to the gal there, and I ended up getting $150 off or something like that. I mean, I ended up getting that one for, I don't know how much one of these would sell for, but not too much more than a smaller one. This is the biggest one they had. So, man, I'm pretty dang excited about it. So now, I'm going to put it together, put it together or whatever. But, there we go. Come on. Only thing I didn't get all the, you know, when I bought my new Stihl, I didn't get all the fancy, you know, bar cover, hat, all that. Didn't get all that this time. These are just crazy, man. They're going north. But let me tell you a little story. Yeah, I've told this, I'm sure, on here. I know I have. It's been a while. But the story of Stihl. Stihl chainsaws. Man, hold a special place in my heart, or did. Till the last few years. But when I was a kid, Stihl chainsaws, man, you know, we're talking growing up in the 70s, and Stihl chainsaws back in the 70s, you know, especially in my country, man, we're all, you know, it's a logging, you know, these are all, man, this county, the county I live in is a big logging community. McCall, you know, was a big logging community. Cascade, Horseshoe Bend, you know, pretty much all over Idaho, man. Emmett, you know, there was mills and logging and stuff going on everywhere. And the people around my grandpa, and up there, you know, up in McCall, it was, you know, Husqvarna was around, but man, they were all Stihl guys. You know, back then, man, when you bought a chainsaw, you know, it was like making an investment, man. It was like buying a car, you know, and you could have them fixed, man. Get the parts you need to keep them running and all that. Well, I had a Stihl. I can't remember the number on it now, but, you know, a big one, a big Stihl, about the size of this. It had a 2-inch bar. Or, I mean, 2-inch. It had a 2-inch bar. It had a 24-inch bar, Stihl. And, man, it had some issues. I can't remember what it was. And, man, I took it into a, you know, Stihl dealer place, you know, a guy that fixes Stihl. Man, I told him I needed this thing back before wood season. So dropped off, didn't hear nothing from him for a couple of months, and swung back in there, you know, which after that, man, I would never use that dude again. I won't throw out any names of the company or anything. It was a little, man, he had a killer little place, you know, a little cabin out down there in Ada County. And anyway, I waited a couple months to go in there, and he's all, well, man, we can't fix it, man. It's obsolete parts. I'm like, dude, why didn't you call and tell me that? Oh, well, you know, we just can't get the parts, man. It's outdated saw. Outdated? A Stihl chainsaw? Outdated? You know, it's not how I grew up, man. You know, I didn't care back then. You know, 60s, man, probably 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. You know, you could always get the parts and pieces and stuff you need for the Stihl. So anyway, man, I pondered that for a while. I was like, this is a bunch of crap. So I ended up selling it at a flea market up in Idaho City. And then I went out and bought me a brand new Stihl chainsaw. Brand new. Little one. About this size. And, man, it had this, you know, they just started doing the new pull start, whatever, man, it's supposed to be. And that thing, I'll tell you what, if you pulled it and you missed the start, you might as well just set it down and walk away. That thing was not going to start, man. Might as well just wait till, you know, things cool back down. So I contacted Stihl, and they never even responded, you know, through emails, of course, these days. And they never even responded, you know, to my emails. So I was like, dude, Stihl has gone to crap. So then after that, man, I was like done. Man, I ended up selling that Stihl chainsaw. And then, I don't know, I picked up some, you know, used saws and tried a Craftsman and tried that, and, you know, they just ain't got the power, man. Old Polands. You know, I still got a couple Polands and Craftsman and all that, you know, and they just didn't have the power. You know, you can cut with them, and they're definitely usable. I used them for 2, 3, 4 years, and then Gregor sent me this one, and I'd already been kicking around. I was like, man, I think I'm going to try Husqvarna. Gregor sent me this Husqvarna, which is turned, man, I've had a lot of saws over the years, you know, and so, I just love this saw, man. I still love this saw. It ain't going nowhere. But now, we're going to try this one. Oh, and then something I was going to say about, you know, the old timers and the Stihl chainsaws and, you know, how it was back in the 70s is that, sorry, man, look at all my doodads. Oh, yeah. There's my plugs. I was wondering about them, man, because it's got these plugs in here, and I was like, what the heck? I guess this is my chain guard. Or use it in tail. So anyway, man, back in the you know, 70s and 80s and stuff, growing up with Grandpa, man, going into the, man, I haven't looked to see if it's still there, man, but there used to be a place. It was south of McCall. It was it was the place, man. It's where all the old timers hung out and took their saws in there and stood around the wood stove drinking coffee, you know, and stuff back like it was. And I remember going in there with Grandpa a few times. You know, it was just awesome, man. Like I said, that was back when a Stihl chainsaw was an investment. So I don't know what all that has to do with getting a new Husqvarna, but I haven't, I never had to even worry about taking one to the shop, so we shall see. Alright, man. So now I'll gas her up. I know Stihl, like when I bought my Stihl, I used the Stihl oil, bought a 6-pack of Stihl oil, and it gave me an extended warranty and all this stuff. But that gal didn't say nothing. Nothing about nothing, man. I just bought the dang saw. That was about it. So get all these papers and look through all this stuff in there. But so that's my take, man. I'm a Husqvarna man now. I like my love my Huskies. But we'll get her all. Probably not this video. Probably be the next. But I definitely got a lot of trees and stuff that need to come down below. Then my grandpa had, man, I wished I still had it. But he had an old wood box that he had built for his old Stihl. I may end up building an old box for that thing, man, just for the memories. Grandpa'd like that saw. That's my take on the two Huskies. I'm gonna go over and get this all fueled up. And I bet you I haven't started this thing. And then I got all those battery operated ones. So I haven't started this in probably not all winter, man. Probably since February. I'd say probably October. Let's see. Let's see, 3 poles. And that final one. Gotta warm up, man. Oh, she's cold. Hey! What'd you call me? Woo! Makes me just want to cut something, man. Oh, the smell. So, really, I guess that's all I got, man. It's just the, as far as this old hillbilly, in my opinion, Husqvarna beats Stihl hands down. Good Lord willing. Them creeks don't rise. We'll be back again tomorrow. See ya.